Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are going to be listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. All right, and without further ado, let's get into your choice. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? That's interesting. Five of Swords. Five of Swords in the environment, which is making me feel like I almost feel like somebody's nitpicking about something you're connected to. Almost like they're trying to blame. I feel like they're trying to blame something. I feel like somebody's trying to blame you for something. The Five of Swords is like the fruitless win. It's almost like they're saying, well, you said this or you did that. So, that's why this is happening. It's kind of like, well, that's not why this is happening. Well, it surely didn't help. Yeah, but it's like, all right, so it didn't help, but we'd still be where we are. I feel like somebody's trying to make you the scapegoat, but it's not really working. You said this or you did that, and you're like, well, we'd still be where we are. Yeah, but it didn't help. Okay, so it didn't help. All right, we'll still be where we are. There is a decision I feel like you made because you felt like it was the right decision. You were like, this isn't moving forward. I do feel like you did make a decision that they're blaming you for, or you said something, and you're like, yeah, I did that, but that didn't cause all the rest of this. But I feel like you're owning it. Like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. That's how it was in the moment. I almost feel like it could be, and I know a few Aries, and I almost feel like this is one of those things where, well, you know what? I had a lot going on. I did the best I could. Yeah, maybe I snapped at that person. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's how yeah. And so I did. It didn't change where we ended up. It was while things were in motion. So whatever you did or said or chose, it was things were in motion at the time and you did the best you could with it. And it's kind of like, you know what? I have a limited amount of patience. So if I said something a little curt, then I did. That it did. It's not going to bring you down, but there's a mystery below this. The Seven of Cups, to me, I'm feeling a mystery with this. I'm feeling like we're trying to pull a smoke and mirrors, or somebody else is trying to pull a smoke and mirrors thing. Somebody else is trying to pull this fell out. The Queen of Fire fell out while I was shuffling, which should work well with you. But this is one of those examples that, I've said this to other people. You could have everything compatible in your chart to somebody else, but if the quality of character isn't there, if they're just not the best person, you can put as much stuff in a chart as you want, but quality of character is not guaranteed, in my opinion. It's all this energy, all these behaviors, and it's where that person takes those behaviors. You know what I mean? So this is an energy that should work with you, but I feel like maybe not the best person, if you follow me. It's when those people say, I'm not just the problem, I'm the whole problem. And they seem to have some pride about that. And I'm like, okay. Okay, be somebody else's problem. How about that? There's somebody here who should be compatible, but I don't feel like the quality of character is there. And there's a smoke and mirrors game here where they try to come off better than they actually are. Aries usually sniffs that out pretty quickly, though. Aries usually sniffs that out pretty quickly, and Aries typically doesn't have a lot of tolerance for that. So, but there may be, especially if it's a work situation, you pay attention and you don't say what's not going to work. You're kind of like, I could call that out, but then I'm going to be the target. We're not going to do that. This might be one of those things where you know what's going on. You know how this person is, but you're like, yeah, but I'm not going to let this person use it against me. Aries is very smart and strategic like that. I'm not going to let this person use that against me just because they're in a position where they can make my life difficult. I'm not going to call it out. I'm just going to play it like I have to. I'm going to play it like I have to. It's starting to fall apart, though. We'll come back to that one part because I don't believe that off the bat. So we'll see. You're just holding ground the way you need to, and you're not happy about what's going on, and you're trying to make the next step forward make sense. I feel like I don't want to let on that I know what's going on here because I feel like that's going to backlash, and I'm not going to be the target for somebody else's foolery. Because they'll make it all about how I did this, how I did that. See, Aries thinks I'm the bad guy. I'm sure Aries did it. Aries just wants to make me look like the bad guy. This energy is a little bit something. It's not rational, in my opinion. And it relies on pulling other people into their foolishness. What is this for Aries? Because this is weird. I keep feeling like a sticky sweet feeling, and I'm like, I don't understand. No, I'm staying out of it. I feel like you're doing your best to stay out of it. And you're keeping it to yourself. Certain things, and like, people may try to call you out, but I feel like I'm just shutting it down and walking away. I'm not adding anything into it. All right, yeah, I did that. Still where we are. And I feel like I'm just walking away from it. They want to get you going. I don't think you're playing the game. That's why you got the King of Cups. They're trying to pull you in by your emotions, and you're like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. Especially when it's strategic, and you're like, no, this is a game. You're trying to trigger me so you can use my emotions against me. I didn't show up for that. No thanks. Nope. Not doing it. You see it for what it is, though. That's the thing. What's coming in next is a great question. You got the Six of Pentacles. Somebody's trying to move on like it didn't matter, but it mattered. Somebody's trying to keep going forward like it didn't matter that whatever happened, happened. All right, things are messed up. It doesn't matter, though. We got to keep going. Okay. It's kind of like, well, the truck has a flat tire. We can't keep going. Sure, just put it in drive and let's see how far we make it. No, we got to get that tire fixed. All right, fine, then get it fixed, but you get it fixed. I have to go do other things. That's how I keep feeling this energy come forward. Like, they're just going on like, we just got to keep going. We just got to keep... Then you fix it. I have to keep moving. And this is the Six of Pentacles. They're leaving it up to you to balance it out. And I feel like it's kind of like, well, this is part of my job. I guess I will. And then they're acting like nothing happened. And it's kind of like, no, we were choosing the wrong roads. We're going in the wrong direction. We need to fix this. This is interesting. Take this with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only, because I feel like we're going into a spicy moment here. You could keep doing what you feel is the right thing and keep the situation afloat. Am I getting that right? Because Because it's saying that's not going to help. Holding it together, you're going to have to keep dealing with this foolishness. And this energy is going to keep trying to blame you when it doesn't go their way. Continuing on this way, if you want to, it's not going to work. There's going to keep being problems. It's going to just not work. It's just going to keep being problems. And you're going to be the one that keeps fixing the problems. It reminds me of like, this is 2 positions above my pay grade, but I keep doing the work and I keep helping it work out, but I'm not getting paid for this job. You know, I should be making 6 figures for what I'm doing, but I'm making 5 figures. This isn't right. Okay. Or this one's, I'm telling you, this is spicy. To me, it's spicy. I'm just going to roll the dice first because it's spicy. I think it's spicy. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. You do what makes sense to you. This is just like a possibility. I feel like this is spicy. It's kind of like saying back up and kind of like, well, who are we going to make them get the tire? Like if we're going to use that truck analogy where the truck has a flat tire, I can't fix a tire. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't have access to the funds. You have to do it. You have to choose somebody. You have to do this. I keep pushing it back is what I keep getting. I just keep pushing it back. Which may seem a little like, I don't know if this is a good idea, but it's up to you. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. Think it out. Make sure it makes sense to you. Because I'm getting like, this is a version of you letting it go and letting it just sort out and let this person that wants to make these crazy decisions stop playing. Like, we're not going to play the scapegoat game anymore. They want to play these games. It's not my job to fix that. I drive the truck. I don't pay to have it fixed. That's their problem. That is not my problem. I will sit here all day and I'll play on my phone if I have to. I'll just play on my phone, I guess. I'll go get some lunch. I'll wait. Take it with a grain of salt. Let's say it's spicy. It's just a possibility. I do feel like sooner or later we're going to hit this moment. It's all about your energy and where you're standing at the time. Because if you do it now, I feel like I'm more like, hey, it is what it is. If it's later, I feel like you're angry and it's got a totally different flavor. So, and like, I feel like some of you are going to be like, well, I'm already angry. But like, I feel like Aries knows, I feel like you know your levels. And there's levels where you're angry, but you're still under control. And there's levels where you're angry and just what's happening is what's happening. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying. You decide what's right. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. That's a spicy moment. There's going to be a lot of conversations. If you push back that way and you're like, I don't get paid to do that. You get paid to do that. You're going to need to do that. There's going to be a lot of conversations. What does this card say? It's going to change. It's going to change your life here. So if you were driving truck for this company, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to still be driving this truck for this company. You may have a different position at this company, or you may end up going to a different company. It may change. It's going to change things either way. It's going to change things for sure. If you go that direction, it's going to, I don't know, it feels a little rickety, but ultimately, wherever you end up, you got success there. It's going to be a process. It's not going to be all fun and games. There's going to be some like struggle moments, but there's also going to be a lot of things that go your way. But it's not going to happen until it's going to happen. It's not going to happen immediately. It may drag out, and that's what I kind of get with the no, it's not time yet. I'm getting it's going to drag out. You'll get here eventually, but it's going to drag out before you get there. I feel like this reading is kind of like, the way it's going isn't working, but you might be heading to a moment where you might literally lose your temper, and that could be one thing. Or you could take control of it and just kind of pull it back and like see where the chips fall while you're still in control. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But in the comments, I feel like Aries has that. Like, there's different levels of being upset. There's, I'm upset, but I'm under control. And then there's closer to, like, I'm sure there's a sliding scale, but there's the closer to, I'm so angry I can't even see straight. Whatever happens, happens. So, because I feel like that's where we might end up. So this is trying to help you maneuver this before we get to that point, because it seems like it's heading to that point. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. Use your judgment. Especially if you're really worried, talk with somebody else who knows you and see what they think about the situation. Like, take it with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.